Hey everyone, it's Bailey from Making Up Midwest, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to do both a day and night look using the L'Oreal Infallible Golden Emerald Eyeshadow Pigment. Way back when I did my top favorite emerald products, somebody asked if I could do a tutorial using this, and so because I personally couldn't settle on doing either a natural or a dramatic, I just went ahead and did both. So I'm going to show you how to downplay it a little bit by using a brush to blend it in, as well as really emphasize, just the crazy pigment going on here by using your fingers. So if you want to see how I achieve two looks with one product, let's get to it.
Alright, so let's get started with this natural look first. You may notice those brush hairs on my nose, don't mind those. We're starting this look off with MAC's Painterly Paint Pot, one of my favorites, and I'm using that to prime my lid up to beneath my eyebrow as well as underneath my lower lash line. The first shadow I'm using is this matte vanilla colored pigment from Bare Minerals, and I'm using this flat shader brush to put that on the inner half of my eye as well as beneath my lower lash line, just on the inner corner. Then with a satiny peach pigment, I'm putting that on the rest of my eye, just from that center part and then sweeping it on out. This is a delicious satiny taupe, and I'm using a Sigma tapered blending brush, I think that's the name of it, to blend that throughout my crease, starting from my outer corner and then using that windshield wiper motion to take it all the way pretty much into my inner corner, more or less. Obviously you want most intensity on the outer corner and then gently fade it in towards your nose. Now for what this look is all about, it's the emerald. This is L'Oreal's Infallible eyeshadow in the shade Golden Emerald, and I'm using this dual-ended It Cosmetics eye brush. I'm taking the flat, stiff end to pat that in my outer corner, and then using the tip to precisely apply it on my lower lash line, just the outer part, because this is a daytime look. You don't want to get too smoky up in here already. Then to polish those shadows up, I just use that same tapered blending brush from Sigma to really blend all those shadows together. Something you might find with satin or matte shadows is that they get kind of creasy, and so I just like to give it a good once or twice over to make sure that's not the case. Now I'm going to define, this is Urban Decay's 24/7 eyeliner in the shade Bourban, and I'm using that on my outer corner as well as on the outer half of my lower lash line. Again, not to get too smoky with this is really just for daytime definition. To blend that out, I'm using this Real Techniques eyeliner brush just to give it a good smudge, and then you're really good to go and start on your mascara. For that, I'm using this Mary Kay Ultimate Mascara. One thing you'll find with this is you might have to give your lashes a good curl or two because it's super good at lengthening but not so much at curling, so just a little note to make. Now let's start talking foundation. For this look, I used Wet n Wild's Coverall Cream Foundation and a Real Techniques buffing brush to blend all that in. Then for concealer, I used this It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer with the buffing brush from Real Techniques. To set the concealer, because it can be kind of shiny, I used the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder and this Bdellium Tools brush, and I really just applied that on the areas that I really needed it. This is my MAC Wonder Woman MSF, and I'm just using a contour brush, I think this is from Crown Brush, and using it in the bronzer shade to contour my face. Now taking a Bdellium Tools face brush and Laura Geller's blush in the shade Buttercream, I'm using that just behind the apples, blending it into that contour and back towards my hairline. For a natural lip, I'm sticking with the gloss, and this is Tarte's Maracuja Divine Shine Lip Gloss in the shade Tipsy, just a super light sheer peach, and that is it for your natural look. It's pretty fast and easy, but it's nothing compared to this nighttime look. Let's get started on this. Again, I'm going into that L'Oreal Infallible shade Golden Emerald, and to pack on that pigment, I'm using my finger, one of my favorite tools to use with these eyeshadows, and I'm patting that on the center of my eyelid and kind of blending it out. This doesn't have to be super precise because we're going to use a brush to blend it out, but this just ensures you get super pigmented coverage. Now I'm going in with the shade called Gleaming Bronze, which I think is more of a metallic olive green, using that same It Cosmetics brush, and I'm just going to blend out both my inner and outer corner using that shade. I find it's a good transition color to make sure you don't just have two dark splotches on your eyes. It's just good for overall blending without really losing the deep dark smokiness. And this part is optional, but I wanted a little more drama, so I'm adding some gel liner. This is from the Fergie collection from Wet n Wild, and I'm using a Tarte, one of their dual-ended liner brushes. All the information for the items I use, by the way, will be in the information bar below in case I glossed over something you wanted to know about. And I'm just using that to draw a relatively thick line and a smidgen of a cat eye. I just follow the line parallel to my lower lash line and then connect that up with the line I've already created. You know the drill. So if you really are making this day to night transition, you might want to think about resetting your foundation and or concealer with that Rimmel Stay Matte powder. I'm also going to add a subtle highlight rather than adding more blush and bronzer. The eyes are dramatic enough, so I'm just taking that same Bedellium brush that I used for the powder, and I'm just applying a light dusting of a highlight on the cheekbones, bridge of nose, you know the drill. Now for gloss, I wanted to keep it natural, again, because I have such dramatic eyes, and this is Wet n Wild's, I think they're called Wet Slicks, but this is in the shade Rose Gold. Just a really nice, subtle, slightly shimmery lip gloss to finish this nighttime look off. And that's it! Now you don't have to have done the daytime look to achieve these same results with this nighttime look. I just wanted to give you a nice, easy way to take minimal amounts of products with you to make this day to night transition. So I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed the use of emerald because after all, it is the color of the year. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!